Battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds are getting so much resistance from behind. Every time we stop, hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Oh, babies, you got the flow, you got the rock, you got the roll. You got the music right there in your soul, the dynamic of the heart coming back to life, babies. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, it is. Beautiful thing.
I tell you, we got the Bayou Babe here visiting today, man. Our special guest star here on the morning edition of the Koyote Medicine Show. Koyote Medicine in the morning. Take your medicine. It's good for you. It's a loving thing, man.
I'm a star. I'm a star.
Yeah, you're a star, baby. You're a rock star right here on the Koyote Medicine Show. We is the rock and you are the roll, baby.
That's pretty cool. Having some cool conversation, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. That's why you don't see me too much on the chat room, man. We're blabbering each other's ears off over here.
Yeah, talking about all the real stuff.
Yeah. We've just been going through the medicine and the mojo of being there for your grandkids, holding the energy of love and light for, everybody that means anything in your life. But, of course, that's got to start with old number one.
Has to start with old number one, indeed, and recognizing the things that have held you back and moving past them.
Yep.
Realizing that, though my granddaughter's in public school and she's kind of, getting babysat that way, that my daughter does realize, we talk about it on a regular basis. It's not something that we will ignore. We watch close what programs they're trying to put on my granddaughter.
Yeah.
I've already, pretty much put my foot down. I said, if they ever come up with any of those A words for my granddaughter, I'm going to be there physically there and talking to these people about the ADD, the ADHD, the Asperger's, whatever, the A word they want to put.
Any excuse they can to get your kids on drugs.
Any excuse to keep her beautiful, bright spirit and imagination from being too unruly or out of the box or expressive in any way. So I was just telling Grandpa how she already has some fears that sort of make me sad just from the programming of perhaps TV and things. Like she's afraid of ETs. She's afraid. I think we saw a UFO, bright, beautiful, light.
Kind of glittery with rainbow color.
Yeah, moving at a good clip across.
Yeah.
And we kept I was like, do you see a blinking light? I don't see a blinking light. There was nothing blinking. It was solid, twinkly, but not blinky.
Yeah.
Very, very bright. And she got scared. She's like, is it an alien? And I'm like, why are you scared of aliens? Whatever gave you that fear? I don't know. She didn't even know. That's how subliminal it is.
Yeah.
She didn't say it's. Well, I saw it on a cartoon or I saw it here or there, but I thought, no, they're nice. Don't worry about them. I'm like, at least, but she got this feeling, so I felt bad about trying to reprogram it, because if she felt a weird energy, a fearful energy, then I want to pay attention to that in a way. But then, what is it? An unreasonable fear that's come out of too much TV?
Well, they basically teach you to fear love.
Yes.
And so if that energy floating by you in the sky had a loving energy, that would automatically, at a subliminal level, would automatically kick in the rejection of love. Because that's the way we're programmed from the time we're tiny. Don't you do this love thing because it's weak. Be strong in this life. Be cold. Be heartless. Don't you do this love thing. It takes your life away. It makes you like a hippie.
Use your mind, not your heart. Go with your head, not your heart. Yeah, the total opposite of what really brings you joy.
Doing. So at the core of that kind of fear might be a fear of the basic love in life, the fear of your own innocent self. It happens real early in life. By the time a kid's 7, all the programming's in place.
Oh,
all of them.
It's so obvious to me from my vantage point. And so I'm just constantly sending healing love to her and rainbow shielding. I mean, I call in the archangels every single day and build a rainbow around everybody I love.
You betcha.
Archangel Michael and his beautiful white light and cobalt blue light with Archangel Gabriel, so we can communicate with clarity, and Mother Mary and her
Mother Mary's
beautiful
big here,
pink
yeah.
light of open-heartedness and unconditional
Yeah.
love and feminine masculine balance. And
Indeed, baby.
Archangel Raphael brings the beautiful emerald light of the heart and healing, self-healing. Believe in your ability to self-heal, and bring in the angels to help you, and he will protect you as you travel. And Archangel Metatron will bring in that violet ray of beautiful psychic protection. Protect your thoughts. They're not always yours. Protect your spiritual sight, your third eye. Call in the angels to do that. Shield yourself every day. The programming's out there, and it wants you to be in fear and separate
Well,
you.
recognize the shield
Yeah.
in love. In
Yeah.
that rainbow energy you're talking about, we put around
Yes.
everybody, that's the love. That's just the active heart saying,
Yes.
listen, only love is tolerable. That's the only tolerable presence in my life. It's the complete opposite of what we've been brainwashed into since we were tiny. It's coming back to life. It's coming forward in the heart. And babies, if you just plant little seeds with your children and let them see a little bit of this for real, because they're closer to it than you are. And they know it, even though they're being brainwashed out of it. They know what's real. Especially these kids nowadays. They're brilliant geniuses, most every one of them, you know?
She is in the 2nd grade, and she's reading on a 6th grade level.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean.
She's doing 6th grade math.
And they'll come back to life really quick. But they'll move beyond that shit real quick, too. She's going to be bored as hell.
That's right.
You know?
And which is why I'm definitely an advocate for homeschooling if there is an elder around to help.
Yeah.
You know, in tribal ways, that's, bring the family back together.
I was one of the pioneers in that movement back in the 80s. 83, I was a pioneer in that movement. I got my kids. I lived in a small town at the time, very conservative. There was only 11 kids in the graduating class. I had 2 kids in the grade school. And I took them out and I established a private school for them and hired a tutor one day a week, things like that. But I let them educate themselves, you know.
Adventures. Let's go on adventures.
Exactly, and that's what this lady. I was so blessed. I lived in Utah at the time, and trying to find a bright light there is pretty tough. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. But I ran a little ad in the Provo paper because I lived near there, about 50 miles out, and I got this gal. I mean, I had about 50 people apply an interview for this 1 day a week job for next to nothing.
Wow.
I had about 50 people apply, but this one gal showed up. She had a little baby, and so she couldn't teach in school because she didn't want to leave her baby. And so this was ideal for her and ideal for us too. And she took these kids, like you say, on adventures.
Yes.
Taught them about butterflies and swamps, went to the mountains, went to the trees, etc. And she was just the most beautiful and bright heart. God, I felt so blessed to have her there, you know?
Yeah, well, fortunately, I don't even say fortunately. I decided to leave corporate America a couple of years back, and yes, it's a struggle to survive in a monetary system. But this year, it was so that I could spend time with my granddaughter, and I've managed it because I believe in it being a stalwart intention to be in her life and take adventures like this. We've been to Oklahoma, Louisiana, Texas, New Mexico, Carlsbad Caverns.
Oh, wow.
You know, we saw the most beautiful parts of Texas, the canyon countries in Texas, driving up here from Louisiana.
Yeah.
And of course, our beautiful swamp. I love it so much. Because I guess of karma I've put into the vortex, I was able to house sit up in near Evergreen, which is one of my favorite places on the Front Range.
Yeah.
For the last 2 months, and so this is another adventure I'm on without my granddaughter, to visit up in Crestone and see Grandpa
Hook up with old Grandpa
and meet this force for good that I keep seeing on the internet, and I'm friends with, quote unquote. But here I am in the flesh, and
now we're friends for real.
Now we're really friends, and we're and it's a wonderful thing to actually take your dreams into reality and bring them to people who will help you or support you in the dream of living a blissful life, of shooting for happiness, not just survival.
Yeah.
You know, like believe in happiness. It's a real thing.
It is.
You know, for 2.5 years, I have not had a real job, and I have not had to suffer once.
Isn't that awesome? Yeah.
I mean, not at all. I mean, I
Yeah.
get a little scared at times, and money gets low or whatever, but that's because I'm transmuting my dependency on the monetary system
Yeah.
into a true energy exchange of, you know, and we're all moving into a healer role with the,
Yeah.
you know, and you bring that energy with you, and it's not because you're a practitioner, it's because you've learned how to heal. Well, I have, in my case. I've learned how to heal myself. I know I've healed abscessed teeth. I've healed gallstones. I've healed joint issues. I'm not even going to say it. I've had tendonitis in the past.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me nearly as badly now that I know that if I just talk to my body from a cellular level and accept the universal life flow comes through me, and that I don't stop it. I'm not scared of it. It isn't anything to fear.
Yeah.
It moves through me into Mother Earth and spirals around in that toroidal pattern that we all know so well.
Yeah.
The
The divine donut, I call
the
it. yeah.
divine donut, exactly. And you know, the flower of life. It just flows through us, and when you open yourself up to that, then yeah, things start to change immediately. I mean, your
I've seen
manifestation
people-
happens
I've
so
seen
fast.
people. I remember one woman in particular had a softball-sized tumor in her stomach area, and I didn't know about it. She didn't tell me about it, but we healed it while we were talking there in that little session. And she went to her doctor and got it verified that it evaporated in like 30 seconds. It was just gone. We can do,
Wow.
and it's. I mean, I've seen it in my own life. I healed from an incurable disease in my 40s. That's what brought
Quote
me back.
unquote incurable.
Yeah, that's what brought me back to life, you know,
Mhm.
was because I could go to death, and that I've been to death so many, but this was real powerful at that time because that's when the universe started opening up to me and giving me my assignments, basically. Here you go, old man, come back to life, and let's get this thing rocking.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, that does sound a little bit like a walk-in situation.
Yeah, well, in a sense, it's not really a walk-in, it's just awakening.
It's still you.
I was me, and I knew I had something special before that. I knew I was a very unique being. By the time I was 40-something, but I was worn out. I was tired of fighting my way through life, because that's what I'd done. I'd pretty much been in a struggle inside, and so everywhere around me was struggle, too. All of my life was difficult and struggling. You know, I mean, I'd have my cruise times, but basically it was a struggle, always. And by the time I was like 42 or whatever age that was, it was somewhere around in there, that I was just worn out, exhausted. I'd lived 150 lifetimes already, you know, and I was done. I was dead, you know, and I really was. I was giving up. I'd had enough, you know. And so then came this moment, I've talked about it before, where the sky opened up and I was, you know, ready to go. And I felt that love. Oh my God, this is so incredible, but it's the kind of love we're meant to hold here.
Yeah.
You know, but it's the love of the other side, basically. And then these beings came and, you know, in this circle that looked a lot like the sun. And these were my brothers, sisters too, but we call them, it's a brotherhood. And I'm one of them. But we live at the center of the universe, at the center of creation, the gateway of love. And they were communicating with me at the time. And they were saying, don't you realize that, you know, uncountable numbers of lives stand in the waiting based on the choices you make now? I looked at them and I said, God, you guys are crazy. I'm a loser. You know, I'm nuts. You got the wrong number, baby. They just
That's what Two Feather was saying too. Huh? What?
Yeah. And so, like, but they just smiled at me and sent more of that love. And they said, well, can you then, if you can't stay alive for humanity, can you then stay alive for your grandkids and your kids? And I, oh, yeah, I reckon I can do that. If they need me around, I'll do that. And so I did. But instead of like, I mean, and that brought me back to life, you know, and brought me back to love and started me on this path of healing everything. Not just myself. First,
Right.
but that's when I lost that disease, and it took some doing back in those days. I mean, it just didn't happen bingo like that, but when it happened bingo like that. But it took some building into, took some opening up. It took me realizing the incredible side of myself. to start awakening to that. So I wasn't living in abject poverty for the rest of my life and struggling like a sumbitch to stay alive, you know. I learned how to the plus side of that, I learned how to live outside the money system and to live well without money. I learned to do that, you know. Pretty much. I mean, you still had to milk the system a little bit, but pretty much you could, if you were living in a cashless situation, you could trade for your needs, you could fulfill yourself with, gathering your own foods and so forth, but you also, then you went to food banks and stuff to get your basic sustenance, you know. But you just learned how to live creatively without money. You didn't, I mean, there's no place to spend it back there in the mountains anyway.
Right, exactly.
The bear don't care about a dollar bill.
No, indeed. Yeah, it's anything that you want to transmute, that you see out in the world, that you want to transmute, if it's gigantic industrial farms and the cruelty, that exists in those places, and even though you might want to keep eating meat or whatever, just change your focus. Just change your focus to live in local, to grow in local, to local farmers, to local dairies, and we can move away from that. We can move away from that industrialized life back to a village mentality, a tribal mentality, where we are one tribe, but you're born into a family. I mean, you opted into it, and then you have your community where you live, which is...
And then you have a spirit family
and then
beyond
you have a
that.
Spirit family that helps support you within the local family.
Yeah.
By reaching out, and we have that global community now. I mean, they can't take it away from us. Even if they shut the internet down today, we've built our abilities to communicate with one another already.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's what this is about for me. This is giving us the foundation for telepathy.
Same with cell phones. They're teaching us that we're already in communication with one another.
Right. So in somewhere, I believe, and I see it in the near future, we will begin to communicate telepathically. And we can now. And you can have an experience like Grandpa just talked about merely by wanting it. Because I told you about when I lost my aunt and my cousin. I had a very similar situation. And the catalyst was death. It was 2 people in my life I lost at the same time in the car accident. And because I was so grateful to know that I had a knowledge that they were being greeted by loved ones.
Yeah.
I was able to see it.
Yeah.
And
live it.
Yes, just not a dream. It wasn't a dream. It was waking time.
Yeah.
But because I had this deep love, and you could call it grieving, that deep cry you feel when somebody passes unexpectedly, especially, when it comes like that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of knocks you over. But then if you can find gratitude in it, if you can really see the bigger picture and say, yes, they may be gone, but now they are my special angels. I can be closer to them now than I ever could be when they were in the flesh. Because now
true.
We are truly... We don't have the duality, the physical...
The geographical separation.
The logistics, to keep us separate. Now we're together all the time. And so I think gratitude is sort of that's my feeling. I don't think much with my brain anymore, but I feel that gratitude is the key to a whole lot of growing love in your heart.
Absolutely.
Being really thankful in every moment and looking for miracles.
But you find that by what? Going back into your past in these moments of divine
Healing.
Communion, and you see the true aspect of love at work in all moments in your life. You go to key moments where you've been traumatized or where you've been raised up, things like that. You go back there and you see it because you're not living in it right now. It's a little higher perspective. You're like the angels watching over yourself when you go back there. So you see the angelic perspective, and then you begin to understand. It's some mind-blowing stuff.
Yes.
It really is, because it's it's aspects you've never considered before. But you see yourself, let's say, just for example, getting raped. You see yourself in this equitous position with this person that's raping you in this dirty, horrible drama that's totally traumatizing you here. But then you see the spirit perspective where you and this being had an agreement that this person was infected by a horrible, horrible infection, and you came to take it away from them involuntarily, totally cruel, but it had to come that way to you because that's the only way it could be healed, by allowing yourself to become a victim of that awful energy. And so then you take that moment into your life, for years you're fucked up.
Yeah.
But at one point you get peace about it, and now you're set free. Because you see
when you realize
that
you
it's you. You're the last. You're the last.
Yeah.
Because you took it, and you can finish with it. It doesn't pass through the generations anymore. It's over with.
Right.
It ends with you, and that's more than a
that's
worthy
the other,
thing.
Yeah.
You know.
The other side of gratitude is forgiveness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
Well, that's what gives you the gratitude,
Yes.
when you can see that
Yes.
aspect at work in every moment. Then you're free.
When you can love the person, a human, another human, who is capable, just by of this kind of act, just by virtue of realizing that every human is capable of what every other human is capable of.
Yeah.
You can't judge anymore, because judgment becomes the cancer of the soul, of your soul, because you are basically condemning yourself, because you are capable of it. If you had opted into it, you would have done it. Okay, we all opt into the contrast of pleasure and pain, love and fear, and I do believe the opposite of love is fear, not hate.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If you're going to deal with polarity, because fear perpetuates hate.
Yeah.
It's not really the other way around.
Yeah.
Okay. And so if you can stare it down, yeah, we were talking about this too. If you're in an argument with someone and you walk away from them, you know that makes them 10 times madder.
Yeah. It does,
if you turn your back on the confrontation and walk away, in other words, if you turn your back on fear and you walk away, it grows and it festers and it's still there. Okay, even though you say, "No, my light is bright. My light is bright." Well, the brighter your light, the bigger the shadow. Turn around and look at it.
Yeah.
Turn around and look at it. Every time you turn, you're shining your light and making that shadow disappear.
Yeah.
Dissolves away.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I have a fear of when I was younger, I was raped. Okay?
Yeah.
And for the longest time I carried it. I had put myself in a precarious position. Shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, but then again.
But it was an agreement. So because I put myself there, this happened.
Yeah.
So for a long time I felt like it was tough. It's tough being a woman because some men think they can just overtake you. Have at it.
Yeah.
Okay? So I didn't participate in a lot of stuff. I held back. I held back my light. You know, as a musician, I held my light back for fear of being out.
You're not going to any longer.
And vulnerable, right? But to not be vulnerable, to put myself in a vulnerable position, instead of saying, instead of feeling the shields of love come up around me, and that knowing that I will attract loving folks instead of hurtful folks.
Yeah.
Okay? But the only way I could transmute it was to have looked someone in the face like that.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I did see the light turn in them, the change, what you just spoke about. I saw them go, "Oh, no, this is not right.
Yeah.
This is not right. Why am I even engaging in this behavior?"
Yeah.
Okay? I can't blame alcohol. I can't blame drugs. Because underneath it all, I have my will. I have my free will.
You betcha.
And so it took me a long time to transmute it. I'm not going to say it didn't. But,
it does,
you know,
yeah.
and I even, like, my second husband was my bodyguard.
Yeah.
Johnny, the big,
Yeah.
Big Johnny. And so, like, I sought out someone who would take care of me. And that didn't work because it was the wrong reason to be in a relationship.
Absolutely.
Healing yourself first. We're getting the opportunity, it seems like, the energy that's coming.
Continually.
Now
now
it
stuff
seems like it really is amped up.
Stuff like that used to take years to get over
Yes.
30 minutes, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, it's done.
Yeah. Well, because now I think the energy is more indicative of a higher love.
Yeah.
A much
Yeah.
higher love.
Yeah.
We're not seeking it. We're waking up as a collective.
Well, we're literally moving into this place where that divine perspective that I've been talking about that releases you from trauma, that divine perspective becomes our continual perspective. We live, it's called the moment of now, but we live there where we know everything. In the heart, we know everything. We know exactly what's happening. We know exactly how to transmute energies, etc. You know, everything we ever dreamt of, and then some. We're totally and completely empowered, but it's so simple because it's innocent. And that's why most people miss it, because they can't accept innocence as their reality. They don't feel innocent. They feel either empowered by the wickedness or condemned by it, one or the other.
Right, the sin program.
Yeah, the sin programming, you bet.
Yeah.
And so that's where most people's hearts have been, and in their minds actually, because the heart's not too involved in it when you're at that stage with it. When you're judging, you know, you're a little bit beyond the heart, you know. And I call it judgment for lack of better terminology. It's really defining life either through fear or love. That's really the simple choice.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. That's where it boils down to. And babies, when you feel the innocent love coming forward, when you feel yourself being released from all sense of unworthiness and guilt, when you see it's like a baby energy, then you understand why old Grandpa's saying baby, baby, babies, 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 baby, baby, babe, 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 because we are sincerely and originally inside of ourselves that baby in our innocence. It's the only place we could preserve it. So we took the baby, let it be traumatized in this human life, and let it put away its innocence at a very young age.
Yeah.
And it's gone. It's not evaporated, it's gone. It's an elemental in there, so it still does affect you and influence you, but not that greatly. You've shut most of it off. But as you come to these points of realization, then you can allow the innocence, the real innocence, which is a baby-like energy. Don't be afraid to be a baby. You're not helpless anymore. You're not shitting diapers anymore. It's not that kind of baby. But in the sense that you are starting over again right from that beginning point of birth, that's exactly what you're going through. You have to give birth to this innocent love. You have to let it be birthed inside and let it come forward. Let that baby come forward into your adult body and bring you back to the beginning, so that then you can retrain this adult person to live in its innocence. That's what
Forgive yourself.
That's what planetary ascension is. It's just letting go of judgment, really, and living in the innocence of pure love.
Yeah.
Pure light, pure heart.
Yeah, and there really isn't any forgiveness to give to yourself. You have you've opted in. You've lived the life that you've lived, and at some point you just let it go.
Yeah.
It's not a forgiveness. It's not, and really, for
it's
yourself,
understanding there's a blessing in everything.
There's a blessing in everything, and it's really, you don't have to. I guess the main message is, don't accept the victim role.
Yeah.
Don't accept it, and don't shit talk yourself into it. You know.
Yeah.
Don't be a martyr. Don't hold on to your pain, and don't wave it around.
And don't go sacrificing yourself.
Exactly.
Either, you know.
No, you don't have to.
No.
Because that part of the way that we show love seems to be at an end, and it's because we've been told too much in the old paradigm that if you love yourself, you're selfish.
Yeah.
Well, be selfish. Love yourself. Okay? You know, it's the way that we move past the victim mentality.
Absolutely.
The way that we move into, I create my reality. I only attract loving people who are in this rebirth process. That's what we're doing.
And
we're
so it is,
coming out of the cocoon. That's we went into darkness. We completely have morphed.
Yes.
Okay. We know now scientifically that your body is different every 7 years. So till death do us part. Hello. I mean, all of the old programs that made you feel like, I can't live up to that. I can't live up to that. I can't live. No, you couldn't. You never could. It was not, you never could let that part of the old programs go and be in this place where, yes, I am rebuilding myself from the cellular level into a new human. Your liver redoes itself in just under a year.
Wow.
You know, like your organs can but if you believe you're sick, it's been proven you are sick. The more you believe it, the sicker you become.
Yep.
You know, so when I talk about self-healing, it's from a very personal experience, from experiencing it myself. My family in the medical field being told they're sick and just watching them die from the sickness they were told they had.
Yeah.
And that the medication took them down, helped take them down.
Yeah.
You know? And so I won't do it.
No, I would. I was like, I wouldn't even, when I was sick and dying, I didn't want to go to medical doctors. I'd stay away from. The only time I like to go there, I don't like to go there ever, but if I'm injured, I'll go. And that's about different. It. With an illness, no way. I've watched them just kill too many people. Friends and relatives since I was a tiny kid. It's just horrible. It's like medieval torture going into the hospital, especially back then. They've refined their processes some these days, so there ain't as much pain involved, but it's still there. It's still, clear back in 1972, Dr. Richard Mendelsohn, M.D., wrote a book called Confessions of a Medical Heretic, in which he essentially accused the medical profession of being the practice of death and parasitism. He called the doctors, the medical personnel, the high priests of doom. He called the hospitals temples of doom. And that was clear back in the 70s, But anybody with a half a piece of awareness that's watched anyone else go through the medical process knows what a horrible thing it is. And it can be beneficial at times when you're really in a weak place and you can't do anything else, But it's not a place I would go. Yes, exactly. That's Kevin Smith. I had him on the program a week or so ago. He's got a little community thing going down by Alamosa. He's trying to get started up here. And he's quite an aware being. He's got his, he's coming back to life in a real good way himself.
That's awesome.
Trying to form community. It's
there's no expert here. There's no. We're all learning as we go.
You betcha. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's education, babies, but it's not the kind you're going to get a degree for. You might get the third degree once in a while.
You're just too weird, Deborah. Sorry if I'm shaking your shit.
Oh, baby.
Oh, no apologies for that.
But we also, as light beings, as beings that are seekers and that are finders and that are growing up into it, we also feel that deep obligation to share this essential joy with everyone we meet and encounter. So we do.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we don't have to forcefully do it or anything. We just make sure that energy's there and it touches everybody.
Well, it seems like if you have the desire to bring it out, and into the physical world, I mean, you can work with the collective in meditation every single day, and I try to. That's a beautiful thing, to leave your little your physical world and go out into the collective and really put love in there and believe that it's making a difference. And I see it making a difference. It's causing beautiful people to come into my life. It's causing me to. There's cause and effect. It's causing me to be supported in a very real way. I don't think people really necessarily believe their manifestation power, because you've got people charging you $2,000 to teach you how to make money. Hello.
That's how you make money.
That's how
Tell
they make
other people you help make money and charge them $2,000.
That's how they make money. Okay, and so but it's all inside of you, to attract it. You're going to attract what you think about the most. I have a good friend that taught me my internal language switched to whatever you think you're right about 10 or 12 years ago.
Wow.
Whatever you think you're right. Because whatever you think you are right.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
that is
that's
your
what
reality.
you're creating. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
your perception. That's your
Yeah.
perspective. And so that kind of comes from neuro-linguistic programming. That's one of the wonderful things that have helped me to clear old energy out of my body, is to change my internal language.
Yeah.
Okay, to understand my meridian system, that I actually have this amazing technology we call a body, that is like the leading technology on the planet. Nobody's ever been able to, I forgot, I read it takes days maybe to do what the brain does in seconds.
Yeah.
That the fastest computer in the world
Yeah.
cannot keep up with the brain. We've not been able to build another technology like this. So
It's like we can't duplicate the bird either, you know?
we can't duplicate grass. We
Yeah.
can't even duplicate
Yeah.
a blade of grass.
Yeah, and that's something.
Okay.
But yeah, we can mess with it genetically.
We can.
Breed it with salmons.
But it doesn't come out the same product at all. No. You know, and so yeah, let's not get into this about what's happening to the food.
Oh my God.
So yeah, we're doing it one community at a time probably, and that's okay. Back to the village.
Yeah, babies, right back to the village. But see, I see a huge movement as humanity in general awakens inside of the heart consciousness. I see a huge movement away from the cities and suburbia and anything that's taken us away from ourselves. You might be living in a small community, but it just ain't right for you. But I see massive movement of people individually going to new places and creating new community because they're drawn there by the energy of that place. Just
Right.
like Crestone here.
The
It's
Vision
happening
Quest.
here.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a real serious vortex here in Prestonia, Colorado.
Colorado, yeah. Colorado on the
Yeah.
radio, babies.
Yeah.
You betcha. But
Yeah.
we're bringing them here. The energy's here, but it's also all across this. So it's
Yeah,
different
yeah.
little divine places. And we're being drawn together with what I would call our spirit family. Like how you and I have this unity and communication,
Like brothers and sisters.
energy.
It
Yeah,
just,
exactly.
It just feels that way.
Yeah, exactly.
And
yeah.
so, and when you were speaking a while ago about the return to innocence, I'm also involved in I've been involved with a tribe out in North Carolina that puts together a festival. It's coming up in early October.
We're going.
3 days of light. I already have my ticket. I got my camping ticket for 3 days. It's a 3-day event, and the title of the festival this year is Return to Innocence.
Yeah, got to do it, babies. Yeah.
Yeah, we're returning to that place where we are looking at the world with new eyes. I was telling Grandpa, and I'll admit it on the radio, I don't care. I'm 56 years old, and I feel like I'm like 30, like I was when I was 30, and the whole world was my oyster.
Yeah, just opening
That
up.
I'm old enough to get out and do everything I need to be able to do. I'm capable. I know my talents, and now I have this whole new paradigm to deal with
Yeah.
because I'm building it.
Yeah.
Because
and
I'm
you're
helping
getting
to
younger
create it
as you go through
and
it.
you get younger as you do. And I'm here to attest to it. I mean, I feel like a totally new human being because, and I really didn't. Yeah, I've had really major epiphanies dating back to what you've heard about the harmonic convergence in '87. That was when my mom passed away. That's when she became a huge integral part of who I am in my everyday life on a much larger scale, and that's larger scale is way not an effective term for what I'm saying. Words really fail when it's your mom's energy, okay?
Yeah.
And so that happened during one of the most major alignments with the galactic center that's going to happen in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And I got to experience 2012, 12/21/2012. I felt that's when I had grown up enough to know that I was multidimensional.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
from 1987, when I feel like I had some of my biggest epiphanies about me in the spirit world,
Yep.
me and my spirit, and my connection to the spirit world, and then the growth started from there.
Yeah.
And now I feel, I know my multidimensionality. I'm even able to capture it in photographs.
Wow.
You know, other beings that are...
Yeah, I've seen some of her photographs. We're going to have to post some of those. Those are awesome, man.
They were totally from my belief that and my desire to connect to my higher self and the angelic realms, which they are, we call them angels. Remember that words are just that. They don't necessarily create something with wings, okay? The angels that I'm speaking of are light beings.
Yeah.
They are integrated with me, and they are here to help us.
They're family, yeah.
They're our family. They're our spirit family.
Each of us is an angel, a divine angel.
We are.
Each of us as a human being are angels.
And on my higher self is there to access.
Yeah.
The one, my higher dimensional Deborah, who can, that's one of the benefits of sort of recognizing the programs that are shutting you off and walking away from them and having all the faith in the world that you will get what you need.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's really difficult at first. And there are things that you can do to calm your body vehicle down from the fear, and I can share some of that stuff too.
If you'd love to, I'd love it. Yeah,
yeah,
please do.
Yeah,
we can go on forever.
We
here.
could probably. Yeah. This is pretty cool. Except that we have to eat at some point.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, and the body needs food.
They say.
So they say. But
I've been in times in my life where I've lived on pure energy, and I didn't need to eat.
Sun gazing. I've corrected my vision to a certain extent when I'm diligent with it. There's tons of things you can do, but meridian work is very important right now, I feel. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Donna Eden's work or EFT. Everybody knows tapping. Okay, everybody on tapping. But I reprogrammed my brain away from addiction to falling in love, to that feeling, that unreasonable love, that not real love, that whatever you want to call it, the programmed love, the movie love, the
ambrosia of lust.
The thing, the body love,
the obsession,
body without the spirit.
Yeah.
Maybe even body without the heart love. So thing. I tapped that out. I tapped it out by because within that work, within EFT, that is neuro-linguistic programming at its best, because you're saying, I might have this feeling about this person who just left me for somebody else, and I'm tapping hard on the side of my hand right now. But I may have this feeling, but I completely and deeply love, honor, and accept myself. The feeling in that. And that meridian on the side of your hand is very important. And then there's the ones on your face. Look up EFT. There's tons of it on YouTube. EFT tapping. I quit smoking this way. And after
sad thing,
cigarettes.
You look so good with a cigarette dangling out of your own.
I quit it. I quit it because I was over it. But it was an addiction, and that was another thing that I was dealing with in my ancestral healings.
You know, one thing I've noticed too, since you've been hanging around for a couple of days, I smoke less. Yeah.
Good. That's
weird.
Good. Well, I threw everything at it. I even wrote a note about it on Facebook. I'll be happy to share it to your page, but I threw everything at it. I asked for support from the people I love. Here I go. But I didn't make this big plan and say, I'm going to quit, because every time I would say I'm going to quit, it didn't happen. I made it a very personal thing. And then I used EFT, but I also used hypnosis. I went to sleep with that hypnosis and getting super excited about being a non-smoker. I'm going to be a non-smoker now. Oh my gosh, I actually quit. I can actually say it. I can actually make that statement about myself. Because I was really ready. And not for any judgment, except that I was ready. Well, let me take that back. I was starting to experience high blood pressure. And my coffee in the morning. And I thought, how ridiculous to take a pill so that I can keep doing, like, in other words, it was building onto itself. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm going to have to
yeah.
smoke. I'm going to have to take high blood pressure medicine. What else will it lead? Was it leading to? I don't believe in genetics, so I'm not going to get into illnesses in my family. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it anymore
Yeah.
because of the placebo effect. I mean, if I believe I'm well,
Then you are, yeah.
then I'm well.
Yep.
And so that's what happened. I mean, I reprogrammed my brain, and guys, it took me 4 days, and I was done.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that something?
4 days, I was done. And I did use I used melatonin to take naps. I gave myself 4 days off from people.
Yeah.
And I actually did go on the 4th day. I went to a big festival in New Orleans, and tons of people were smoking all around me. I used this much nicotine, like the tiniest little piece of a lozenge,
Uh-huh.
and when the feeling went away, I took it out.
Yeah.
When I would use it for crisis management,
Yeah.
and a little tiny bit of melatonin to raise the serotonin level, so I wasn't freaking out over wanting the physical
Yeah.
stuff. And then the meridian work of Donna Eden helped a lot, because you can turn off the fight or flight.
Yeah.
You can turn it off, okay? And when you start to train your body to turn it off with this, well, she calls it a triple warmer smoothie. Look it up. It's so awesome. All you're doing is just running this one meridian with your hands. This hands-on healing is real, okay? You turn it off, and then your body is less likely to go into it.
Yeah.
The more you just turn it off, and something is like debt could trigger it. Debt collectors trigger it for me, for sure.
I ignore them. I just let the phone ring.
Right on.
Talk to my answering machine, chicken.
Yeah, exactly. I know, but we are moving out of some serious programs that have kept us slaves for, generations.
Ever and ever, you betcha.
I mean, when we think about it, like, old folks, our parents were among some of the first generations that suffered the mortgage.
Yeah, yeah.
They went from a family-oriented, like you worked and you paid cash, or you built it with your hands, or...
My dad paid for his house in 7 years. That was the typical term back then.
7 to 10 years.
And he bought it in 35 or something like that. And in 7 years it was paid for.
In 55, my parents bought a house for $10,000.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
I grew up in. It was
payments
tiny.
are like $125 a month.
Or even might have even been less than that, Yeah. But I mean, they still wound up in this place where they really didn't own the place they even lived in.
One of the most freeing
How
things
weird
that's
is that?
happened to me in recent times was losing that house last year.
Just letting it go.
Oh, God, I got out from underneath a big old sled ride. I really did. I didn't realize how burdened I was by all of that shit. It was like letting go of the old paradigm when I let go of that house. Because I could have fought the person that was foreclosing on me. I had justifications. There was fraud involved and stuff like that. Boy, I could have come out of that one. But I just wasn't going to do it. I'd made a mistake. I missed a hearing. But that would not count against me if I undertook another lawsuit.
The situations are unbelievable.
But
for the
I
way.
just at the time, I just looked at it and said, there's no fight in me. I'm done. I can't do this. I surrender. Just let them have. And boy, I'll tell you what, it was one of the most freeing moments of my life.
Indeed.
I finally realized I didn't have to do that.
Right.
To stay alive.
See, that lends itself to this communal. I mean, we're still in the paradigm where there's this legal system that you've got to go into, and people have this perception of ownership and
how can you own land, for Christ's sake? You can't put it in your pocket.
You can own air. What are you talking about?
Oh, you can't put that in your pocket either.
The air. How high up can you build? You really, they can stop you from going up now with this tradition. And I'm like, wait a minute, and then all the water rights situations.
Oh,
and things like
in
that.
the West here it's insane. But I noticed that the billionaires are trying to purchase all the water.
They are,
Yeah.
and we have to not let them.
No.
The no is a complete sentence.
But what you do mainly, if you want to stop the billionaires, find out where they live and go pee on their doorstep. Just let them know how much we diss them for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it is more of a trap. Well, money is the implement by which they've enslaved us. They got us to buy this idea of value and trade. And they did that without money to begin with, and we lived that way for thousands of years. Started trading our little arrowheads for food and things like that, Really, really. But it was a master plan given forth by a place I call Babylon, which has replicated itself here in the U.S. and across the earth. Once again, wants to be the big... It was the subsequent power to Atlantis. Babylon was the shadow of Atlantis that arose in the times after the nuclear war. As the earth was healing herself, humanity started coming forward, and Babylon became the power. Well, guess what? It took all of the darkness from Atlantis and put it into play here. But it had to be subtle because it couldn't be out front, because it had already proven to itself that it can't rule with an iron fist. It doesn't work for it.
No.
But if
it's very subtle.
If it uses subterfuge and subtlety, then it can get away with everything. Then it can rule everyone in a secret way.
Yeah, but that's what we're tapping into.
But that's where the money came from. That's where the money came from.
Definitely. But we're tapping into the subtle energy now, and they can't hide anymore.
No, they can't.
They can't hide, and that's where their power was. Whoever they are.
Oh, it was me.
It was us.
I was the Lord of Darkness. I mean, I can live the Lord of Darkness. Let's put it that way. I know what that feeling's like. Doesn't mean it's me personally, but it's me as I can go there and be that person in history. I know exactly what it feels like. I've met that depth of darkness in myself, the ultimate darkness. And I know what it feels like. I know what it was up against in those times, and I also see it as a divine being of light. It wasn't really intended to be this way. No. Yet it couldn't help itself.
It's being manipulated, though. Yeah. That's the thing, is like, if you had the power over 3D.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's how I see it, is that there's this 4D or higher dimensional energy that has hijacked our evolution.
Yeah, and that's been manipulating us through that fourth dimensional reality.
And that's and the reason you can know that there's some serious knowing in this new feminine energy coming across the planet, and because the reason you can know that there's been a lack of feminine energy is that you have
cold-heartedness.
Well, but the faction of all this ownership over here of 1%, when there's one hungry child on this planet, mama's not in charge.
You know it. You
know she hasn't been in charge, because she's
they would be fed and housed.
Everyone
and taken care of.
Everyone would be nurtured. No one would feel like
because there is enough wealth in this world to feed everyone and house everyone.
And it happens when we come together on it, though.
Exactly.
That's when it happens, is when we say, okay, here's all the resources in my local area right here. Look at this beautiful land out here. Pete and I were talking about growing hemp down here. Be in that which you want to see grow.
Yes.
Believe in it.
Yes.
Put it out there. I want to make hemp shoes.
Why not?
I want to make hemp beds. I want to make wool beds.
Yeah.
People. The things start with the most basic things that you would like to see transmuted from petroleum based to hemp based.
Yeah.
For instance, this is just a for instance.
Yeah.
It's one of my passions. I feel that just taking those simple things that are in your everyday life and transmuting them, not so much anymore. We can't be angry about it anymore. We absolutely can't be angry about it. We have to love it for the contrast that it's given us, because it's given us the will to move into the light.
Yes.
It's given us the impetus, the push to move into the light.
Absolutely.
Because we can see that if we don't move into the light and we don't work on the transition team, the cleanup team with Mother Gaia, we will annihilate ourselves.
Oh, absolutely.
We can see it. We can see that as a possible timeline.
This is why, as a people, we came back in time to correct it right in this time to get the ascension.
That's why I'm here.
Because it would be 10 years from now, there would be no Earth.
So I think Earth will survive. I don't think humanity will.
No, I mean, as the way we're treating it right now, and the way things are going right now, given that timeline, the Earth
I think you and I
become a dead planet again.
Yeah, we've sort of come to believe, the two of us, like just in our talking and with other folks, believe that we've passed the timeline where we will nuke the Earth, okay?
Yeah, it can't happen now. They've been disempowered. By the way, all the nukes.
They've been disengaged.
They've been disengaged,
done.
They cannot be employed,
And I don't know I'm not giving credit to anybody but the multidimensional love beings that I feel around here. I don't know that they're here in ships. What I see and what I photograph and what I feel is rainbow, like Grandpa talks about all the time. There's this rainbow essence of sight and sound, walking, talking rock show.
You betcha! Yeah. Koyote Medicine Show, only on the Hazy Radio Network, baby.
So yeah, segue, good segue. But yeah, that's what I feel. And I mean, like looking for the ships and stuff like that, you're opening yourself up. Maybe, perhaps, and I don't want to be a
You might just be a curiosity seeker too. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, but you could be opening yourself up to participating in the hologram that could happen from this faction that wants to hold control.
Oh yeah, they've got a whole bunch of ETs lined up.
They've got all. Don't get on the first ship that you see. Okay.
Yeah.
They do. I believe they them. God, it's so crazy to have this other faction running so much, but they really have the ability. They've been working towards that. They're hiding the truth in plain sight, folks.
All the time.
All the time. In the movies about, Men in Black. And there's the Independence Day.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff. Okay, what would humanity do right now? What do you guys think? If a big, huge hologram of the giant ships from Independence Day were to show up over Earth, over Earth's city centers like they did in the movie, okay?
Oh, please take them down. Get the people out of there first, but take them down.
but you understand, like, what I'm saying is, like, how many people would believe that is real?
Yeah.
Sorry, doggy. They would believe it's solid. They would believe it. Or maybe they'll put Jesus up.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be the second coming and next coming of Jesus.
Okay.
Maybe they'll put the next coming of Jesus up.
Yeah, they might,
You never know what they're going to do.
But any hologram they're going to attempt now is going to fail. I tell you,
I know it will, but I'm saying be ready for it.
Watch for it.
Watch for it, because that's sort of like the last-ditch effort.
This is why I'm like so down on some of the ET transmissions we're receiving nowadays, because I see the disinfo in them. I see the plot.
You have the discerning within it. You don't. Yeah. You have every one of you out here has the ability to discern this.
See it, yeah.
You're the guru now, okay?
Yeah.
You are the guru. Yeah. Be the guru. Go inside your... I'm knocked. I forget he freaks out for knocking.
Oh, no, it's okay. He'll shut up.
Come here, sweet pea.
Shut up. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I'm just saying, it seems like we're a last-ditch effort. That's how I feel about this with the system. So who knows how desperate they could get to cause us, and I'm from FEMA country, so I'm talking from experience, to cause us to want to count on someone outside of ourselves to take care of us.
Oh, of course, the government in particular.
Government, come on.
It's the great religion of now. You know, it really is. But at the same time, people, the more aware, the more awake we are inside, the more we live in the heart, the less effect anything like that's ever going to have on our reality.
Exactly.
We neutralize. I mean, there were plans back in the 70s to enslave us and put us in camps. Back in the 70s, and to put us all under a credit system where it was a card and there was no money, etc. They had all that back in the 70s. Even before that, they've been working towards it for hundreds of years.
1984 is about it. Loosely anyway.
But they couldn't employ it then because there was too much love loose in the planet.
That's right.
And that's why they failed.
Yeah, the first round of Rainbow Children in the hippie days have produced this round of Rainbow Children.
You betcha.
That's our children.
It's a seed,
Yeah. We planted the seeds, and
now they're sprouting, baby.
and the generation that was running it then is gone.
Yep.
And the generation above us...
They were a bunch of dastardly old folk.
Well, they were run by fear. They were
it was
also
their whole paradigm.
Greed and fear.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like the
Well,
top.
greed is fear.
Well, the
greed
top
is
down.
afraid you can never have enough. It's
Right.
an emptiness. It's a fear. It's a
Well,
fear.
we're switching. We've already switched from the top-down mentality to the bottom-up mentality.
Yep.
And that's the part of the.
And that's why there's coyotes rising up out of the dirt
Yeah.
to share the heart
There's
with you.
fairies
baby.
showing
Yeah.
up everywhere.
You
And
betcha.
angels.
Yeah. It's all
Yeah.
elemental, man. The
is.
whole revolution. It comes from the earth, from your feet upward.
Yeah.
babies.
Yep. Through your feet,
You
you
can
are
feel
connected.
this when you walk on the earth.
Yeah. Get out there and get grounded into Mother Earth
You bet.
as much as you can. I always say this: if you live in old cold Colorado and you can't take your shoes off and touch the earth, walk up to a tree and lean against that tree and put the back of your head on that tree. Put that pineal gland there and put your palms to that tree. And you can hug it forward, or you can hug it. Just lean against the tree and look out into the world and see if you don't see things differently.
That's what that tree's seeing. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and connect with this entity that gives us life. It breathes when we breathe in oxygen, it comes from the trees, but
Yeah.
we exhale carbon dioxide, and the trees
Get that.
breathe that.
That's transformation, baby.
So we are
That's mutual harmony.
in the machine of, or the vortex of, this creation that is a constant. Earth is now known as a self-organizing organism.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
And so just think that for a second. I mean, put that in your heart and just imagine what it means to be self-organizing, because that's what you are.
Yeah.
That's what I am.
Yeah.
I'm self-organizing.
Yeah.
And the energy comes through this planet.
That's
We
where
are
it comes from.
We're a conduit of energy from the cosmos through our body, through our chakra system,
Yep.
into the earth, through our feet. Yes, so every chance you
And
get, palms of your
and then
hands.
Earth takes that and refines it and brings it back up through us,
As
through our
pure,
feet,
pure.
organically, and we begin to express,
Crown chakra, too.
spirit energies in the organic way. This is what humanity's all about. It's the union of the elemental
Yeah.
with the spiritual. It seemed to be separate forever.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's the union, the divine union. The very moment you're talking about where you realize the fullness of creation with the earth.
Yeah.
That's what we're after here. That's what our deepest desire is.
But that's what we are.
And that's
We
why it's our
do-
deepest
this
desire.
bone,
It's
this-
just recognize it. Just wake up, wake up.
This body is only able to thrive because of this planet.
That's true.
It is unable. If you were, think about the astronauts. Look at the apparatus they have to don.
They even have to have bags to pee in.
If
shit
they're
like
even
that,
real,
you know?
even
Yeah.
if that's real. But
Yeah, if
what
it
I'm
is,
saying
yeah.
is, when you leave the atmosphere of Mother Earth,
Yeah.
which is created with our Son, I call him Father Son.
It is. His father's son
Father's-
came from the mother.
Yes.
Yes.
And so I see and feel the energy come up through me, through Mother Earth, and go out into creation,
Yeah.
into the cosmos, and then come back through Mother Earth again in that
Yeah.
toroidal pattern.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's all the toroidal pattern seeing it did was to solidify what I already felt.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
So
just
you had some way to see
it made
it.
it 3D. That's
Yeah,
all.
Yeah.
You know, I already knew, and so I'm saying everyone can access this because it is your nature.
There we are, babies, the coyotes singing in the sunrise. Once again, right here on the Koyote Medicine Show, only on the Hazy Radio Network, babies. We love you so much. And babies, old Coyote's singing to that sunrise right there in our official Coyote Club coffee mug, too, babies. He's right there singing, and the divine feminine is there, the divine masculine is there. It's complete and total balance in a simple little picture called love on the cover of your beautiful little official Coyote Coffee Club mug. So if you ain't got yours yet, join the club here, babies. Get with the ride. You're already a member anyway. So just make it official. Get on over there to thecoyoteclub.com. Coyote spelled with a K and club spelled with a K. And babies, get your official coffee mug, and you might even want to slip in a personally signed copy of The Atomic Bum by you-know-who. Of course, I call myself Coyote Bear as that author because that one was kind of naked in the wind, babies. You got to see that one, too. If your curiosity gets to you, sometime you might want to pick that one up, too. It's a great way to help support this network, this beautiful hazy radio network, and this beautiful old Koyote Medicine Show here on the Hazy Radio Network, of course, babies. So this is one way to experience and express your truth. And I'll tell you, if you grab hold of one of these little coffee mugs, order it through the mail, it comes to you, babies, you will experience a new energetic connection into this Coyote Medicine Show, and you'll begin to experience it at even deeper and higher levels. Just because you got a little coffee cup in your hand, energy can transfer like that in this third dimension of reality. Yeah, the Coyote Bum. Yep, that's the next one. Coyote on his bum and on the run. No, the next one is Mother White Buffalo, something like that. I mean, I've got a little start on it, but I've really not been motivated to sit down and write it just yet. I don't feel like it. It's just not the time yet,
Yeah,
and it doesn't seem like books are going to do any good right now anyway, because we're just about done with this paradigm. What you going to read? It ain't. I mean, why would you want to read a book? Heck with it, man.
We're creating a new language anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's the kind of book I'm writing. I'm writing it right here, right now, So are you, right along with me, Bayou Babe. This is the Bayou Babe, by the way, from way down in Louisiana, considering a transplantation to the Rocky Mountain High. Oh, babies, encourage her, will you? Everything comes back together, babies. Life just solidifies in the heart.
Right. It's like Mama has come home after leaving the kids with Dad.
Yep.
And Mom always looks at you and says, "Look what you've done. Just look at this."
Yeah.
Because Mom knows that when you look at the mother energy, knows that when you look at your creation, you realize, hey, I did create that, so I might as well create what I want. I might as well create it from a loving place instead of a fearful place. And so I think that's what we're experiencing in this now moment for me, is this beautiful feminine energy of the mother merging with the patriarchal society that we've had for so long, and even the biggest baddest badass loves his mother.
It's true.
And is going to listen to his mother and is going to take her counsel. Well, in most cases, I guess there's always the exception to the rule.
Yeah.
Indeed, especially in this 3D, because people have been acting out of fear.
Yep.
For so long, and so there are fractured families, and so that's part of what we're doing too, is letting our parents off the hook for the programs they've been under.
Yep.
I mean, not that they're not culpable, because believe me, they've had their consequences. I've had my consequences for staying in the programs too long, or not realizing the life they were taking out of my life.
Yeah.
And so now that you have realized these things and you're shining your light on them, you can let yourself off the hook. You can let your parents off the hook. You really can. You can even let the Illuminati off the hook, because the people, the humans, they have mothers too. There's some mother's son,
Yep.
There's some mother's daughter.
Yep.
They might think they're their actions, but they're not.
No.
They're not.
And ultimately,
they're pure love.
Ultimately, you trace your bloodlines back far enough. Science says if you trace your bloodlines back far enough, you come to a woman in Africa, in Central Africa, way back when. But anyway, genetically, it can be proven. Mystically, you can travel there, and you can see the mother at the beginning. You can understand the beginnings of life right there inside of yourself.
Yeah.
As we know it, as the paradigm that we live in now, that is traceable.
Right, but we don't need to picture the original mother to have a color, because she's all 4 colors.
Yeah.
Or whatever. If you say there's 4 races, we usually equate the races to the 4 winds, the 4 corners of the earth, the 4 colors.
Let's recognize the races for what they are.
Yeah,
They're just different colorful expressions of humanity.
Yeah.
We have the same essential energy, we have the same skin, we have the same heart, the same fingers, same toes, same hands, same everything.
Right.
We're not different. We're not near as different as you might. And yes, you can assign characteristics to certain races and certain beings, but that doesn't apply to all of them. Therefore, it's not valid.
But we've been
Conditioned
to that's another program of separation.
Yep.
We are not separate. I'm not separate from my brothers and sisters. I am not inferior or bigger or better or worse or anything than any other person.
But you're more badass.
I am a badass. I'm a badass. But I'm only badass in my own right.
In a loving way, yeah.
In my own, and we were just talking about that too. The more you embody understanding, love, forgiveness, all of the attributes that transmute fear into love, you don't attract racism. You don't attract sexism. You don't attract any of the schism.
Oh yeah, the ism
of the
schisms.
word.
Yeah, but the schism's the worst part of it. The schism that says, "Oh my God, I can't be with you because you're a bigot." Maybe you got to hang out with that bigot for a little bit and help him see beyond it. Maybe you're a person of color of one sort or another, and the bigot's totally white or the bigot's totally black. Whatever. Whatever the equation is, maybe there's also a reason to stay there just for a few moments, even though it's sheer agony, and share the wealth of your love. Just be there. You don't have to say a damn word. You don't have to lecture him. I mean, I sure as hell wouldn't. I wouldn't want to get beat up.
Right on.
But just be there. Provide that contrast with love. You don't have to say a word. You might say a lot of words, depending on the situation, but just be there in that loving state and let them see what real life is like. And they will begin to experience it too. And they will rapidly move beyond these imposed ideas of racial separation. It's insane. We in the cities in America, we even have like Polish and Italian and black and Irish and
neighborhoods
totally isolated from one another. Even though they have interconnecting streets, you don't dare go through those barriers.
But that's
those invisible barriers.
That's a war mentality.
Yeah,
the war mentality is that I am separate in any way. It doesn't matter how you categorize it, whether it's your race, whether it's your schooling, whether it's your job, your the way your socioeconomic situation. Don't separate. You are not different from anyone else when you go outside of the 3D slavery programs. You're not. I mean, that's what I call them.
You're going to be amazed. You're going to be amazed. But that's what you call what?
Well, I call the programming which separates us, I call a slavery program.
Yeah, and it is because that does enslave you when you have that bigotry going on. You're standing in judgment of a whole race, a whole tribe, a whole nation. You just condemned yourself.
Right, because in that moment that you can feel that you can go to war with someone to force them to your beliefs or to steal from them or whatever the agenda is in these wars any excuse to keep us pitted against one another, because the strength is in our unity, our strength to evolve, our strength to become the light beings, the true light beings that we are. That's our superpower. Unity is like our main superpower.
Imagine the energy. Now let's just say that the population records here are right. And the projections of how many humans exist is only 7.5 billion. Okay, let's take 7,500,000,000 people, unify their heart energy, their consciousness, and project it through you. Can you imagine the power of that? Do you think you could change creation drastically? Of course you could. A unified humanity is the ultimate answer to all these essential questions here that are unresolved, because that's where the power is. And babies, when you're open in the heart, when you're living in that life, you are that unified. I call it 10 billion. That's the number I'm going to use. Mm-hmm. Unified 10 billion souls. The energy of that 10 billion souls is one within you. That means you have access to all the power, authority, and everything given in the love and heart of that 10 billion souls. The collective of that in its entirety as a singular consciousness. You can put it to work, to put it to use in any way. You can heal the entirety of this reality just by looking at it and wishing it to be different. And you create it because you have that power, the unified force of humanity. Man, talk about the jackals running the other way, man. This is how we throw off the yoke.
That's right.
Yep.
It is. And not accepting anybody's definition of our relationship one to another.
Exactly.
We're creating a new relationship because in the old paradigm by believing that it's okay to be militant towards someone else, you are giving them permission to be militant against you.
And it does, and they do, and that's where wars come from. Yeah, that's where wars come from.
And so just realize it and look at it and opt out. No is a complete sentence.
It is.
Opt out.
Yep.
Just don't buy into it and the whole patriotic thing. Oh, here's the thing that blew my mind recently. I know veterans know this stuff, okay, and I am not meaning to demean their service whatsoever. I would never, ever do that. That's not my meaning.
Yep.
Because it's an insidious program as well.
Well, the military is what has fucked up this country totally.
Well, what I'm saying is on an individual level,
yeah.
I honor you for your choice of following that feeling that you are protecting, because a lot of folks that do it feel a very fraternal. They want to go there and they want to fight for freedom.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah, like you could.
Right. So I locally in one of the areas that I visit down in Louisiana, my dog isn't allowed in the park.
Wow.
I'm like, okay.
Parks were built for dogs.
Hello. But anyway, so there's this big veterans memorial with all the names of all the veterans in the whole county, parish, we call it a parish. All etched into the wall, just like the main veteran memorial down in D.C. And there it is. And I went there when it was still pretty new. And so the first time, and I'm looking at the names, and I'm like, namaste, to the people, to the individuals, not to the system. And so I come out, I'm walking my dog around the front, and they're installing this big, huge marble plaque that is huge. And I think it's like 1/8 of a mile long or something. The place is, someone donated a nice big huge piece of property on this well-used highway for the oil field down there. Well-used 18-wheelers constant. But the plaque reads, "Freedom is not free," in the biggest letters you have ever seen, and my blood went cold.
Yeah.
Tears still come to my eyes when I think of when I read that.
Well, that's slavery.
That people actually spout this, they say it out loud, and I don't mean to disrespect, but my gosh, it just chilled me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Freedom is free.
Yeah.
Freedom is free.
Totally and completely.
Okay, I am not here to earn it. I did not come to this planet.
And no government can franchise me with it. I already have it.
Exactly. And so this military industrial complex, folks call it, those are the words in the 3D that they're called, is teaching your brothers and sisters in the military.
Yep.
And they're teaching their children. And they're taking it around the world, and they're shoving it down people's throats.
Yep.
And they're taking it around the United States, and they're shoving.
At the same time.
And at the same time, that's what I'm saying.
We're diffusing it. Yeah.
Us that know about it have to really be in a heart space with them, because here's one of the tricky parts of our ascension. We're going from the head to the heart. That feels backwards when you're moving up the chakra system. It feels a little backwards, but it's not.
No.
Okay, because you've had your spiritual sight, your third eye, for some time now. Like, if you want it, it's there.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly,
it's instant.
yeah,
It's instant.
yeah.
But we're moving from the ego to the heart, thinking monkey mind.
The monkey mind that doesn't think it has enough or never has anything and got to take everything, that's the monkey mind.
The take,
Yeah.
the lack mentality, the victim mentality.
The emptiness, yeah.
We're moving into the fullness of love, real love, not physical, encompassing it all. But it is physical and it's spiritual. But what's in the middle of the brain and the heart
Yep.
is the mouth. Can we talk about that for a minute?
I don't know. It's oral, man.
It's words, folks. Realize that if spells are being cast in 3D by words,
They are.
and they are, words become thoughts. Thoughts become words. That's a never-ending. It never ends.
Yep.
Okay. Be careful what you think.
Yep.
Be so conscious and in the now moment. In that miracle of now, you're creating it right now. Look out into your house right now, wherever you are, wherever you're in the computer, if you're in the coffee shop or wherever you are. That feels so good, it's about to make me cry. And
It does.
realize that you've created that.
Yep.
You,
Yep.
okay,
Yep.
in cooperation with all of the elements and the people and the creation of this earth and galactic energy, I mean cosmic energy. We are in this rift now where we're receiving the mother's love.
Yeah.
Feel your mother's love.
Yeah.
Look at the creation. Look at what you have done.
And know who you are, babies. And come forward in the heart and let Mother embrace you. For the first time in forever.
Fall down on
you've been
on
running
her
from
and
her.
hug her. Just like
Yes.
sit down right now. Go outside and sit down and touch the earth if you can, and
Please.
just feel it, please. And
Please.
and know that is just an inkling of the love that's here to help us create from that dark place we've been. Turn that shining light on it and just illuminate it and see it start to become the whatever it is you want. Yes, create from that love, that beautiful mothering place where she creates without any criteria. Think about that. There's no criteria. I mean, like she doesn't look for you to give her something back at all. She's not asking for anything. And every mother's that way.
No, of course.
Every
yeah.
mother is that way. And
That's
it
why
isn't
it has to
sacrifice.
rise in the divine feminine, because that's the true love.
That's the true love that brings forth creation, even into a place where they're going to have pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, in the painful process that it is to bring forth a child.
Yeah.
It's so indicative of what we've had to watch our children go through in this 3D. And no mother wants that.
No. No.
And so the love, the love that we feel for our children as mothers, I would love to grow in everyone. And I see this feminine aspect coming out in well, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Men on indigos, the indigos are so integrated. It just makes my heart sing. That's why I like to be in the
androgynous beings, yeah.
Totally androgynous beings. And I've been sort of shunned my whole life because of my androgyny. I've never really been super frilly or super masculine.
You're a mother.
I'm a mom. I do whatever I have to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I came as an adaptable apple. That's what I call it. I can just pretty much bloom where I'm planted, and so everything has been a possibility to me my whole life.
Yeah.
And so that's creation. That's how you create, believing in the possibilities from that baby that you brought forth, and just seeing all the possibilities. Continue to feel that way about yourself. You are the baby. We all are. Yes, we're being birthed again.
Yes.
We get this opportunity to feel our mother's love and to forgive our father.
For sure.
For We have to forgive. We have to look to the mothers who had to take on the masculine traits in order to make things
Your mother
work.
didn't hate your father in the beginning. She may grew up to, but she never hated your father in the beginning. She loved, and that's where you came from.
The reason you parents didn't stay together, all you children of divorce, is because till death do us part is
It's bullshit.
It's a program. It's an unreasonable expectation to put upon people. We can get deeper into that, but I just wanted to bring out a mother love and my love as a mother, because I am a mother. I have children. I have grandchildren. And part of the reason that I want to be in Colorado is that I have my blood, my flesh and blood is here.
Yeah.
And there's no, there's no stronger bond. So, we have to forgive what we've had to do in order to keep a roof over the head, in order to, or the program pills that have been thrown at us, whatever it is, forgive it for that.
You go to
Forgive
work to
it.
pay for the car to take you to work, to pay for the house that you live in, maybe
That you never get to spend any
10
time.
hours a day, and if you're lucky, yeah.
Yeah. And you buy, and then
It's
the top-down
it's a trap.
mentality
It's a
made
prison,
you,
yeah.
want more and more and more and never be satisfied, because they're never satisfied. That's the masculine separated from the feminine. It isn't a man. It isn't men in general. It isn't that at all. It's the masculine unbalanced with feminine.
Yep.
That could go that far.
And that's where divorce and everything
But the
else
feminine
comes
without
from,
the
yeah.
masculine has ruled in times past, and it has been just as dysfunctional
Yes.
in different ways.
Yes.
So no one's bashing men. This is about integration,
A return to
a
feeling.
return to love,
To feeling.
innocence and
Feeling
feeling.
love.
feeling
love.
innocent love, not
Yes.
feeling like if I open myself up and be a child, I'm going to be taken advantage of. Don't let that in. Don't
Yeah,
let
don't
it.
even- yeah.
Don't let it in. Think about love and go back to the womb if you have to, in a way, to remember the first time you could cognitively feel the touch of your mother and see her eyes.
Yes.
You know, and your father too, looking over, holding you in awe on the day you're born.
Yep.
Go back there. Every chance you get, every time you feel like the world's beat you up, go back
To your mother.
to that loving masculine feminine power that created you. You can't have a baby without a daddy.
Yeah.
You know, but the definition of daddy is changed. It's changed forever. It's never going to be the same.
No. And thank God for that.
Thank all the glorious powers of goodness for that.
Yeah, I say that metaphorically.
Yeah. And God is again, it's a word.
Yeah.
And the
it's
vibration.
It's got some real weird vibes to it.
The vibration Yahweh is a little better, I feel. And
I don't like giving it a name. I just call it creation. You know?
It's
'Cause that's where it
actually-
is. You
well,
know,
we're
the mother and the father have extended themselves
yeah.
entirely into creation.
Yeah.
There's no separation.
Right. And we're just talking vibration now.
Yeah,
We're talking
exactly.
a vibration.
Yeah, that's the divine feminine is a vibration coming forward in both genders. And in fact, if you're transgendered, all that too.
All
it
of it.
doesn't matter what you are.
One
you know?
gender,
It's not
one
about-
tribe.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we're morphing
Androgyny.
in. We're
Yeah.
right, but we're also we're masculine, feminine,
divine androgyny. Yeah.
divine.
You betcha.
So
And what makes us divine? The power of our love.
love?
That 7.5 billion people living in you. That's what I'm talking
The
about.
heart love, not the
Yeah,
crotch love.
yeah.
And think about it in terms of your chakras. We are moving through our we're receiving upgrades. We're going from to a whole new system.
Yep.
Think about
Thank
it in
God
terms
for that.
of your operating system on your computer, that we're moving into a brand new system. That
Absolutely.
and so we've moved all through the lower levels of Windows, that we hated, Vista or whatever.
Yeah.
And we're moving into something that can't be defined by Bill Gates.
Thank God. Yeah. I mean,
I'm sorry, that just felt good to say. Wow. That's the light shining on it and saying, okay, we are taking control of this, of what we're doing with this upgrade.
Yes.
And control's a bad word too, but anyway, that's one of those.
But control is basically saying that the heart has the flow. That's it. It's like the divine feminine. Because
there's no control.
It's unity, baby. It's more than equity. It's unity. It's a unified life. This conception I'm trying to conceive of with you, of the 10 billion souls living inside of you, and that incredible power unified. It's like the combination of all the love in the universe that creates.
Right.
I mean, there's no real words to describe it. It's the deepest, powerfulest feeling, man.
Well, parenthood is creation. That's what I'm saying. Go back to the point where you realize your power of creation.
And by the way, thanks for all your fine comments on the chat room. I can't get to the keyboard right now because we're involved. But thank you so very much, guys. We love you. So.
Yes, we do.
Kiki, you're a champ. Mirth, we love you.
Who's your daddy? Thanks, Kiki.
Let's take a test, shall we? Let's go get some genetic genes here, man.
Yeah. Oh, wow. You guys, I'm going to go by Faye. And guest. Faye's my favorite part of my actual name given by my mother.
Bayou Babe is so good.
Bayou Babe. Bayou Babe is awesome too. Yeah.
We can call her the Mountain Bayou Babe.
Yeah, indeed. Wow.
The ultimate transplant, baby.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. Yeah, I do love Colorado. I've been coming here since the mid-'70s, and I have a real strong love for it. And you know what? Coloradoans love us.
I think Colorado is like
have really embraced Louisiana.
Center of the universe. Oh yeah.
But they've really embraced us here, and they love to come down and see us too. They just flood our streets at Jazz Fest. And
of course the big February festival.
Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
Fat Tuesday, baby.
Titty time, baby.
Oh, not anymore.
Really?
It's illegal now.
Oh my ass.
I know. Oh no.
You're kidding me.
And look, I don't care about the titties. You should see the cool stuff I've seen boys do for beads.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't that awesome,
fun.
man? Yeah, it is.
Well, New Orleans is loose. It's as loose as anything. And if it weren't for religion, there probably wouldn't be the crime there is. Like the whole bad, the separation of the races, the separation of the upper class, lower class.
You sons of bitches,
we're not doing that anymore. No. I love the Indigos. I hang around with them every chance I get because they're not going to put up with the same shit I put up with. And I'm going, really? Thank you. Really? I just get so tickled about it. I can't stand it. Yeah, I remember posting this on Facebook a long time. It was like, if all of a sudden, like one day you realize that every fear you've ever had in your entire life was based, on lies, would you want to blame somebody, or would you just get up and go, oh yeah, it's over? I'm done. Really?
Oh, can really be the badass liar that started it all. I'm going to go kill somebody.
Not me. I'm going to dance around, and I'm going to go, birds in the air, let's fly, birds. I feel so liberated in that thought that, okay, and we're uncovering the truth because our light's just too bright. It can't be put under the bushel anymore, okay?
No.
It can't. It won't go back in there. Once you've expanded to a certain extent, once you've expanded at all, you cannot go back to your former self.
That's true.
And I'm the 100th monkey, and we're doing this.
God, you want a banana, baby? Here, thank you so much. I love the 100th monkey.
Double entendre. So okay. Grandpa, you're reverting back to your trucker days now.
Oh, I have to. It's in my
Good
genes.
job. Definitely. Yeah. So guys.
The page you can follow our guest on here is this one right here, brother, because we're going to have her back on, believe me. She may become my co-host. We're in extensive negotiations. She wants $23 million, and I've only got $16 in the bank, so I'm not quite sure what we're going to do.
Well, I'm more than likely going to be located in the Front Range area around, like physically located in somewhere else. And I'm manifesting a stay here because of my granddaughter and my daughter.
Yeah.
And so I'll probably be closer to them, which is loosely to the 285 corridor down around Conifer.
Yep.
And so, yeah, and I think I'll do a new page, and like building on like a correspondent type situation.
Yeah, we'll do it. You know, we can do it. There's a couple ways I can do it. Anyway, we'll hook it up so it's like we're sitting in the same studio, and she's on one side of the mountain.
I'm being born. It's being born right now.
It's cool. Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's being birthed out right now, and you guys are helping, and my heart is so full.
Yeah, I've not had anybody on this show that really is so into the same rap that I am. You know what I mean? That is so on the same level, and that has the clarity to express it. You know, I just haven't found.
We are all embodying the mother and the father again. We're all okay with the mother and the father again. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I feel like the schooling system takes babies out of their mama's arms way too soon.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And that's another thing that's over. And then bringing grandparents back into the education of the children, and that's the stuff us old folks are here for. We're here for you. That's what we're doing. We're being the grandparents of these crystal babies that are here. We're the old hippies to the kids of the new hippies.
Damn right.
All right, that's how it feels. I'm not crazy about labels, but that's how I can put it. Rainbow children, crystal children.
Yeah. Well, come on, give me my jingles. There we are.
There we go.
We're done for the day, babies. We love you, silly.
Peace.
I do apologize. We ran a little overtime, but there ain't nobody crowding us right now, so it don't matter. And babies, thanks for being here on the Coyote Medicine Show. It's been a beautiful and blessed day. I hope you're feeling as high and happy.
I am so high and happy. In Lakesh, I am another you.
Absolutely. And we're all together in this old human stew, babies. And, watch out for this one, babies. We planted some seeds today, and babies, you're sprouting like a
Thank you. Thank you for watering it, for being the sunshine.
Blessings all the way around. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. on the Hazy Radio Network with another morning edition of the Coyote Medicine Show. Babies, we know what love is, and we know how to make it grow.
Well, now it's time to say goodbye to Jed and all his kin. They would like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back next week to this locality to have a heaping helping of their hospitality. Hillbilly, that is. Set a spell. Take your shoes off. Y'all come back now. Here.